This is a 1979 D28. And first of all, I can't believe this is 1979. I looked at it and I thought, golly, this thing is in spectacularly good shape. To me, it looks more like an 80s, you know, like an 88, even the 90s model. But I kept looking at the back braces, and it's got low back braces, and there's no adjustable truss rod. And I thought, man, what year is this thing, you know? So I went and looked at the serial number, and 419, which places it as a 79. And gosh, you know, the top has got all this silking, bear claw, or it's not so much bear claw, but silken. The top is just heavily silk, which is good, you know. The action's really nice. I don't think it's ever been reshed. No, it hasn't, because I did frets on it. So I thought, God, that's in really good shape for a 79. It just looks to me like a modern guitar, 90s, you know, with this kind of finish on it and everything. But well, what's interesting about this is it's a 79. The bridge is in the correct location. It's just a little bit too far forward, but not even an eighth of an inch. The front of the saddle, the back of the saddle is about where the middle of the saddle should be. So it's just a tiny little bit out of intonation. It's gonna be fine, intonation-wise. My job, I changed the tuners on it. I made a bone nut. I did a full Evo refrat, and my job now is to scallop the braces. So this is a rare chance to hear a guitar before scalloping and after scalloping. And to tell you the truth, I'm going to send this. I'm going to A/B it with the 1941 Authentic right here, because that one is scalloped. It's actually the only D28 I have that's scalloped anymore. And I'm going to send that to the customer, and I'm going to say, you know, you sure you want to scallop this? Sounds really good, as it is. Might be, you know, let's see. So we're going to do a comparison between this 1979, pretty much stock tuners. You know, I changed the tuners. Again, fresh frets, a bone nut. I'm going to slot the bridge here. I haven't done that yet. But the action's great, and it's in excellent playing and running condition right now. We're going to A/B it with a D28 1941 Authentic, which is, you know, kind of above this one's pay grade, but I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, let's put it that way. And the point, again, of the 41 is that it is scalloped. So this is what a premier scallop brace D28 should sound like. And how does this guitar sound right now? And then if I scallop it, then I'll recompare them afterwards. So you can hear the difference in this guitar with the control guitar. So, okay, so here we go. Okay, that's the 41 version. Now, one thing, when you're comparing these two guitars, you're not comparing the two guitars directly. What you're comparing is how much change did the 79 make in moving towards this kind of sound. They're not going to sound exactly the same. That's not the intent of the thing. Because, for one thing, they've got different strings on them. That 79 has got 80-20 coated strings on it. This one has phosphor bronze elixirs. That's one difference. I mean, just right away, the difference in the strings. The other thing is that this guitar is done and that guitar is not done. But what you're trying to do is listen to the first comparison and you go, okay, the 79 is lacking here. It doesn't have the bass response. Don't listen to the tone, but listen to the response of the thing. It does not have the bass response. It's got a nice snappy mid-range and everything, but it doesn't have the response. So after scalloping, did that response move closer to the 41 or not? Now when I get done, completely done with the 79, then I will put the same sort of strings on it, and it'll have a long saddle and it'll have slotted pins, and then we'll compare. And then at that point, you can start making a sort of a direct comparison. But there's no way that the 79 is in fact going to sound just like this one, because it can't, you know. If it could sound like this guitar, then the hide blue construction and the T-bar and the Madagascar rosewood and the Adirondack spruce top are a waste of time, you see. Those things have got to push this guitar into a sonic area that 79 can't go. It's Indian rosewood Sitka top. It does have a non-adjustable truss rod, so you know that wins. And it's got tight bond blue construction. Plus the bridge is bigger, you know, and there's just a lot of things that this guitar's got. So that's not the point of the comparison. The point of the comparison is to say, did that 79 move in this direction, you see? And I think it did, you see. It got a lot good. It's a nice guitar. I would have no problem playing that guitar. In fact, I like the neck better on that one. And to me, the neck is so important. So important. So, it's a great guitar, though. I mean, there's no getting around it. It should be a great guitar. My God, you know, it costs 3 times as much as that 79 does. So, this ought to be a better guitar. That's why I use it for comparison. This is the standard right here. And someone said about the X bases, but the X bases are the same distance on these two guitars. They're about 1.5 inches away from the sound hole. Almost, yeah. I mean, there's my finger joint. That far away from the X is that far away. It's the same on that guitar. That's why I'm comparing. That's why I got a 41 to compare to the 70s, whatever that guitar is, to compare it to those rear X bass guitars. So, okay, see you later. Well, this is the 79 D28 after scalloping, and I just scalloped it a little bit, you know. It's not scalloped even half as much as the 41 over here is. All I wanted to do was just open up the bass just a little bit, And to me, I think it's pretty successful. To me, as a player, the balance of the guitar is just perfect right now. It's got the bass is really good. I got that percussion that I was looking for that I didn't quite have last time, and the response is really good. I mean, I personally am really happy with the very slight change. It's just a little looser now, and that sort of thing. Now, I got to looking at this guitar a little bit harder. And it's a 79. And remember, my first impression when I looked at it, I said, man, that's a 90s, until I looked at the serial number and I said, a 79? And I really think, I talked this over with the owner a little bit, he's going to check and make sure. But I think this guitar has been retopped and refinished by Martin. Because the top, first of all, there's just several clues going on here. The pickguard is not under the finish like it should be on a 79. And I was willing to let that go because, okay, maybe somebody added that. But it's too clean of a job. When I add a pickguard on there on a 70s, it just doesn't look like it. And this finish just does not look like a 70s finish to me. It looks like a 90s finish. The bridge is 90s. Not a 70s bridge. There's just so many clues that add up on this thing. And, looking at the back, there's just no way that guitar is made it from 1979 with a finish that looks like this. But the other thing that I saw almost immediately when I was looking at it is inside, up in here, I can see some little bitty dots that look to me like glue squeeze out. Like there was a crack in the sides and it got repaired. It's up here. And looks to me like there was a crack in the side. It got repaired, and in the process they refinished it. So my sleuthing instinct says that this guitar probably got hit. The top got punched in and cracked the side, and someone sent it back to Martin in the 90s and had it refinished and retopped. Because this top has got so much silking in it. I've never seen that kind of top that I can recall on a 70s D28. I've seen that sort of top on the Ds, I'm sorry, like the 40s, like a D41, 42, 45 from the 70s. And to me, I look at that and I go, man, that's a 40s quality top. It's just way better, different. I wouldn't say it's better. It's a different spruce, different grain, different silking, different finish than I normally see on the 70s. So we're going to have the owner check that out and find out, because Martin would have records of it. And the same thing up here on the neck. It's clearly a 70s neck. It's got the profile, it's got the shape, it's got the stain and everything, but it's been refinished. There's no way this guitar has come from 1979 like this. Plus the tuners. Remember, I told you I replaced them. They were the Shallows. I put this in the comments. They were the Shallow tuners with the dog leg, the 90-degree offset. And the 79 just ought to have Grover rotomatics. And the trouble is I can't remember offhand what happened in 1980. I know 1980, 82, 84, the changes come about. But the changes come so rapidly, and some of them stay for a short time that I don't really keep track of them all, I don't have and it doesn't matter to me, because I look at the guitar and I say, this is what we've got and this is what we're going to do with it, I don't look at it and go, oh my goodness, that's not right for a 79. But when I looked at the guitar, remember I said, oh, that's a 90s, But there's no adjustable truss rod. And it's got low back braces. And that's when I thought, what is this thing? I looked at the serial number and it's a 79. And I just thought, well, I missed some changes in there somewhere. But the more I look at it and work on it, I go, no, this guitar's been retopped. And looking inside of it, I just don't see the age and the patina that I expected to see from a 79. We're going to find out. I'm going to let you know. It doesn't matter, you know. What it does matter is this, is that if it has been retopped and refinished, then it's not an original 79, and we should have no worries whatsoever about modifying it however we want to modify it to get the sound that we want out of it. And again, you know, it doesn't matter to me. I look at the guitar as an individual guitar, and to me, we all agreed yesterday or the other day in the comments, you know, we said, man, that's a good sounding guitar. That's all that matters, you know. What matters is it's a good sounding guitar. It's got a great neck on it, really comfortable neck, 70s neck, you know. Whereas in the 80s and 90s, it got more of a low profile thing, and I just don't like those as well. Some people do, but I felt this neck. Now that's a 70s neck, you know, very typical of it. So, you know, so I don't really care. I evaluate each guitar as it is. You know, what do we have here? To me, it's almost like the best of all worlds, because the intonation is correct, which I was surprised at last video. So, man, the intonation's like almost exactly right. And the other good news about this is that they only wants me to put a long saddle in there, so I'm going to fill the slot and cut it. When I cut it, I'm going to scoot it back just a hair, and we're going to have 100% correct intonation. But like I said, what I'm getting at here, without going on the rabbit trail, this is almost the best of all the worlds in that it's got the 70s neck, the 70s wood, and I'm on board with the wood. I'm on board with the Indian rosewood being 70s. You know, there's a difference in the color. It's a more peppery speckled, and that's what this has got. The sides, though, you know, I'm not sure the back and the sides match. I mean, look at this. Okay, look at that. With the it's not reddish. It's a light chocolate. It's a light brown with pepper speckles in it. And then go look at the sides. And the sides are browner wood, which is really what I see in the 90s. And I don't see the pepper speckles in here nearly as much as I do over here. Well, I don't know that the sides haven't been replaced. I'm willing to let that one go. I'm willing to say, okay, late 70s, early 80s wood. But it sure doesn't strike me as being the early 70s, where it's that real pale, washed out looking rosewood, which is good stuff, and a lot of pepper speckles in it. And, you know, I swear I look at this guitar and I think that's the 90s. So, something's going on it. Anyway, as far as the sound goes, gosh, I'm happy with it. It's got the percussion to it. Got a great percussion sound to it, but the mid range is still there. Didn't lose any of that, and the highs are still there, you know. There's a good highs for a D28. I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty good. So, anyway, I hope the owner's happy with it. Anyway, I thought it'd be interesting to see what a light scalloping job can do. Scalloping, post-construction scalloping is, in my humble opinion, the way to go, because you got the guitar together, you can hear it, you can say, I'm going to dial in this much scalloping, you know, just a little, or you can go, nah, it needs, crank it up a little bit, you know, dial in a little more scalloping. Whereas when you build a guitar, you're relying on your experience, which is, you know, I'm not discounting experience, but I'm saying you're rolling the dice a little bit on this thing. You're going to scallop to what you think. And I get questions all the time from people, you know, how does this look? You know, I mean, it looks fine, but how's the top feel? And how's the wood resonate and sound, you see? That's what I'm concerned about. You just can't. How does it feel? I don't know. How does it sound, you know? That's cool, isn't it? Woof. That's what I try to get when I shave the back braces. You just don't get that on the modern ones where all the braces are the same height. Anyway, how does it look? I don't know. Looks good to me, but how's it going to sound? So that's the big thing about doing a post-construction scalloping, is I can scalp a little bit and I can play the guitar for a little bit. And maybe a year later, I decide, I want to take just a hair off, because it doesn't take much. Scalp a little bit more, play it again for a year, leave it alone. So, that's pretty good to me. There's our 79 D28 again, the one that's been mysteriously sent back to the factory for probably the super duper sound enhancer or something like that, we don't know why it went to the factory, but we do know that it went to the factory in 1998, March. So, the one change that I made to it this time, and believe me, man, I want to do my changes and be done with it, But I'm trying to do one change at a time because this is a useful experiment here that I don't get to do very often for various reasons. The one change we made this time is to cut a long vintage saddle. Okay, there's two changes. I slotted the bridge and got the pins in there. These are the same pins, though they're just turned around backwards. These are bone pins. and I cut a long vintage saddle, scooted it back about a half a saddle width so that the intonation is a little bit more correct now. And it's good, you know, it's got a nice sharp break angle here. The saddle height is about right, you know. You know, I've scalloped the braces and you're worried about the top coming up a little bit, but the saddle height is really nice right now. I've also got to make just one little tiny adjustment to the low E string, drop it just a hair. The next time, I have a lot of people ask me about the effect of the saddle. So what difference is it between a drop-in and a vintage saddle? And that's what we just heard right here. Now, I compared it to the 41 again, and I'm going to do something at the end of this. When I get done with all this, I'm going to take all the clips from this guitar and I'm going to run them back to back to back to back. I don't like to do that normally because it's a different day. The humidity is different. The barometric pressure is different. The mic might be just a little different, and that's why I'm always comparing it back to the standard 41. But just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take all the clips of the progression of this guitar and I'll put them all on the end, and you can listen to them from front to back on this guitar. Okay, just understand that there's some variables going on there that I don't normally like. So. 79, 98 hybrid guitar, and I do believe I'm done with it. What else? One thing about it, remember that I just did the modifications to it. All the modifications, you know, the headstock, the tuners, the popsicle brace, which I did do, the scalloping of the braces, the long saddle. Anything that changes the sound is going to take it a little while for the guitar to really acclimate to that and for the wood to really start responding to those changes. So if you start pumping this with a certain frequency, it may take it a minute, it may take it a week, it may take it a month. It may take it a month, 6 months, a year for the top and the back and everything to really start vibrating on it. So it's going to continue to go. You've heard the changes. It's going to continue to go in that direction for, you know, a year and 5 years, and then it'll settle in pretty much. I mean, obviously, the more time that goes by, the less radical. The change is going to slow down quite a bit. But anyway, so I did pull the popsicle brace. Since the last time we saw this, it's got the popsicle brace out. It's got anti-acoustic bridge pins in it. It's got the new pickguard on it, and set the action to done now. One thing that might change is the owner might change the tuners here. I'm going to get this 41 because it's got the ovals. He might change the tuners from the white ovals, to the nickel ovals. Now personally, I like the white ovals a lot. I really like the way they go with the binding on this. Let me show you. I like the way the white ovals go with the binding on the guitar. And you got white bridge pins over here too. The ivory bridge pins. And so to me, that looks nice. I like the look of that. Same reason I like white binding. Because I really like ivory oval buttons, white binding on here, white binding on here. To me, that looks like a continuous look. It looks like a mandolin. You know, your mandolin's got this, and then they have the binding, and you know, that kind of thing. And then to me, aesthetically, I like that look. When you go and put nickels on here, they don't match anything, you know. And I like the white, but not my guitar, you know. So, let's look at this one again. And I know this is a historically accurate guitar, you know. So you got the nickels over here, and they're round, but you know, you don't have any aesthetic continuity here. You got nickels, you got black, you got white. I'd really prefer to see those on this guitar, but I'm not going to put them on there yet because these are the stock tuners. So, okay, now as far as my playing response with this, my playing impressions with this 79. Gosh, I think it sounds great. The neck's nice. I like the neck better than I do on the 41. I've said that already. It's a little meatier. It's quite a bit meatier, and got a nicer V to it. And this is just a really nice neck. I wish this neck was on that guitar, but it's not. So it's a good guitar, you know. I pushed it. You listen to it. You see what you think. But I think it pushed closer to the 41. It got a lot less nasally. It was good when we started off with, and to the point where I said, well, you know, maybe we don't want to scallop it. But now that we have scalloped it, I do think that was a good thing to do. It's just more robust sounding. You know, the bass is nice, but it's not thuddy and dull. It's still got a lot of Christmas to it, and tons of snap. You know? I like it. Good guitar. Plays great. Play some more. All right, been a long day. 4 o'clock. Been working on guitars all day long. See you later.